Daniel Handke from Germany in T12 is P5 on hards. Attila Szanyi from Hungary is third on hards. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom is P5. Best lap is a 1:36.591. Dominic Faubourg from United Kingdom in T7 is second. Best lap is a 1:32.460. Glenfield from United Kingdom is P6. Best lap is a 1:35.512. Dominic Faubourg is P4. Attila Szanyi in T2 is third. Best lap is a 1:32.412. Dominic Faubourg is P4. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands in T3 is second. Best lap is a 1:31.067. Martijn Mol from Netherlands in T1 is first. Best lap is a 1:30.966. Rene Robertson from England is ninth. Best lap is a 2:02.487. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Attila Szanyi from Hungary in T7 is fourth. Daniel Handke in T8 is 8th. Best lap is a 1:37.076. Rene Robertson is P9. Christopher Ball is P7. Glenfield in T4 is 6th. Best lap is a 1:35.442. Adelak Sanyi in T11 is P3. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom in T4 is P8. Daniel Hanke in the SEs is P4. Best lap is a 1:31.700. Martijn Mol in T1 is P1. Christopher Ball is 9th. Martijn Mol is first on hards. Christopher Ball in T11 is P9. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Sinjendonk is second. Zsolt Sanyi from Hungary in T10B is P5 on hards. Dominic Sinjendonk in the SEs is second. Rene Robertson in T9 is P7. Best lap is a 1:32.434. Glenfield in T4 is P8. Robert Cormack from Italy is P11 on hards. Best lap is a 2:56.252. Brian Patterson from Scotland in the SEs is P13 on hards. Dominic Sinjendonk in T8 is P2. Robert Cormack in T6 is 11th. Brian Patterson is P13. Mark Scott from Norway in T12 is P9 on hards. Dominic Faubourg in T1 is 6th. Best lap is a 1:31.901. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Mark Scott from Norway in T6 is 9th. Best lap is a 1:34.935. Robert Cormack is 11th. Best lap is a 1:37.091. Dominic Faubourg in T11 is P6. Sanyi is 5th on hards. Best lap is a 1:31.889. Daniel Handke is 4th. Best lap is a 1:31.488. Brian Patterson is P14. Atalak Sanyi in T8 is P3. Best lap is a 1:31.134. Daniel Handke in T3 is P4. Dominic Sinjendonk from Netherlands is 2nd. Brian Patterson is 13th. Best lap is a 2:13.313. Dominic Sinjendonk in T12 is 2nd on hards. Mark Scott is 9th. Best lap is a 1:33.187. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Robert Cormack is P11. Best lap is a 1:34.702. Sanyi in T3 is 4th. Best lap is a 1:31.332. Robert Cormack in T1 is 11th. Best lap is a 1:34.361. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom is 13th. Dominic Sinjendonk in T8 is second. David Forsyth from Ireland in T6 is 12th on hards. Best lap is a 1:35.593. Martijn Mol is first. Jules Xanyi is fifth. Robert Cormack is 11th. Attila Xanyi is P3. John Astrop from New Zealand is P14 on hards. Best lap is a 3:55.373. Rene Robertson in T7 is 7th on hards. Best lap is a 1:32.035. Daniel Hanke in T9 is P4. Best lap is a 1:31.241. Glenfield in T8 is P11. Best lap is a 1:33.957. Christopher Ball in T7 is 14th. The qualification session is at 2017, layout in Road Atlanta, USA. Attila Szanyi from Hungary in T1 is third. Kevin Smith is fourth. Robert Cormack from Italy in T8 is P2. Szulc Szanyi from Hungary in T1 is P8. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom in T2 is 10th. Daniel Handke from Germany in T11 is P5. John Astrop from New Zealand is P14 on mediums. Brian Patterson from Scotland in T7 is P4 on mediums. Robert Cormack is second. Attila Szanyi is provisional pole with a 131.632. Martijn Mol from Netherlands is P10 on hards. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands in T11 is 11th on hards. Daniel Handke is provisional pole with a 131.218. Dominic Favard from United Kingdom is 9th on mediums. Rene Robertson from England is 4th on hards. Best lap is a 132.288. 1.070 off pole. Kevin Smith in T10A is P14. Martijn Mol is provisional pole with a 130.948. Dominic Singendonk is P3. Best lap is a 131.295. POINT 347 off pole. Kevin Smith in T2 is 14th. Five minutes remaining in the session. The race session is at 2017, layout in Road Atlanta, USA. Martijn Mol from Netherlands is P1 on hards. Daniel Handke from Germany is P2 on hards. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands is P3 on hards. Attila Ksanyi from Hungary is 4th on hards. Zsolt Ksanyi from Hungary is P5 on hards. Dominic Faubourg from United Kingdom is 6th on hards. Rene Robertson from England is P7 on hards. Mark Scott from Norway is P8 on hards. Brian Patterson from Scotland is 9th on hards. Glenfield from United Kingdom is 10th on mediums. David Forsyth from Ireland is P11 on hards. Robert Cormack from Italy is 12th on hards. Kevin Smith is P13 on hards. John Astrop from New Zealand is 14th on hards. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom is 15th on hards. Martijn Mol is P1. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Daniel Handke is P2. Attila Ksanyi in T1 is 3rd. Rene Robertson in the SEs is P5. Rene Robertson lost 6th to Brian Patterson. Brian Patterson is P7. Glenfield in T7 is P10. John Astrop is 12. Robert Cormack in T108 is 12. Glenfield in T12 is P11. Glenfield lost P13 to Mark Scott. Glenfield lost P14 to Kevin Smith. Robert Cormack from Italy is 11, 0.1 behind John Astrop. Mark Scott in the SEs is 12, 0.2 ahead of Christopher Ball. Kevin Smith is P14 battling Christopher Ball. Kevin Smith passed Christopher Ball for 13th. Daniel Handke in T9 on lap 2 is 3rd, 0.4 behind Martijn Mol. Rene Robertson in T10B is P6, 0.3 behind Dominic Favard. Daniel Handke in T1 is P3, 0.2 behind Martijn Mol. Adelak Sanyi in T4 is 4th, 0.4 behind Daniel Handke. Rene Robertson is 6th, 0.4 behind Dominic Favard. Glenfield entering the pits is P15. Rene Robertson passed Dominic Favard for 5th. Dominic Favard in T7 is 6th, 0.5 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in T10A is P3, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Glenfield exiting pits on mediums. Adelak Sanyi in T1 is 4th, 0.8 behind Daniel Handke. 25 minutes remaining in the session. Daniel Handke is P3, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Brian Patterson is P6, 0.4 behind Dominic Favard. Martijn Mol in T8 is 2nd on hards, 0.3 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. John Astrup is 9th, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. John Astrup passed Rene Robertson for P8. Rene Robertson in T10A is 9th. Daniel Handke from Germany is P3, 0.4 ahead of Adelak Sanyi. Rene Robertson is P9, 0.4 behind John Astrup. John Astrup was 6.4 faster last lap. Daniel Handke in T6 is P3 on hards, 0.2 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Daniel Handke lost 3rd to Adelak Sanyi. Brian Patterson in T8 is P6, 0.5 behind Dominic Favard. Brian Patterson was 0.6 faster last lap. Adelak Sanyi from Hungary in T10B is 4th, 0.3 behind Daniel Handke. Brian Patterson in T11 is 6th, 0.3 behind Dominic Favard. Jules Sanyi in T1 is P7 on hards, 0.5 behind Brian Patterson. Robert Cormack in T1 is P12, 0.5 behind David Forsyth. Daniel Handke in T8 on lap 6 is third, 0.6 behind Dominic Sinjendon. Brian Patterson is P6, 0.6 behind Dominic Favard. Daniel Handke in T2 is P3, 0.6 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Daniel Handke was 0.8 faster last lap. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Kevin Smith is P14. Brian Patterson in T8 on lap 7 is P6, 0.6 behind Dominic Favard. Robert Cormack from Italy in T8 is 12. 0.5 behind David Forsyth. Jules Sanyi is 7th, 0.7 behind Brian Patterson. John Astrup on lap 8 is 8th, 0.6 behind Jules Sanyi. Robert Cormack is P12, 0.6 behind David Forsyth. John Astrup in T108 is P8, 0.2 behind Jules Sanyi. Daniel Handke is P3, 0.5 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Jules Sanyi in T2 is 7th, 0.2 ahead of John Astrup. John Astrup is 8th, 0.3 behind Schulk Sanyi. Schulk Sanyi in T6 is 7th, 0.3 ahead of John Astrup. John Astrup was 0.7 faster last lap. Daniel Handke in T11 is P3, 0.6 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Schulk Sanyi from Hungary in T11 is 7th, 0.1 ahead of John Astrup. Schulk Sanyi lost P7 to John Astrup. Daniel Handke in T4 is 3rd, 0.5 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. John Astrup in T4 is 7th. Best lap is a 1:31.468. POINT 562 off the fastest lap. Daniel Handke in T7 is 3rd, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. "15 minutes remaining in the session. John Astrup from New Zealand in T7 is 7th, 0.3 behind Brian Patterson. Daniel Handke is 3rd, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Brian Patterson in T10B is 7th battling John Astrup. Brian Patterson lost P7 to Schulk Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T4 is P3, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Adelak Sanyi is P4, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is 3rd, 0.3 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Adelak Sanyi from Hungary in T9 is 4th, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is P3. Adelak Sanyi in T1 is P4, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Schulk Sanyi on lap 12 is P7, 0.4 behind John Astrup. Daniel Handke in T6 is 3rd, 0.5 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Brian Patterson in T7 on lap 12 is P8, 1.2 behind Jules Sanyi. Daniel Handke is P3, 0.7 behind Dominic Singendonk. Dominic Singendonk was 0.6 faster last lap. John Astrup in T12 is P7 battling Jules Sanyi. John Astrup passed Jules Sanyi for P6. Jules Sanyi is 7th. Best lap is a 1:32.234. 1.328 off the fastest lap. Brian Patterson in the SEs is P8, 0.3 behind Jules Sanyi. John Astrup in T6 is 7th battling Jules Sanyi. John Astrup is now P6. Brian Patterson from Scotland in T8 is 7th, 0.1 ahead of Jules Sanyi. 10 minutes remaining in the session. John Astrup is P7 battling Brian Patterson. Brian Patterson was 1.1 faster last lap. John Astrup passed Brian Patterson for P6. Brian Patterson from Scotland in T11 is P7, 0.2 ahead of Jules Sanyi. Jules Sanyi is P8, 0.5 behind Brian Patterson. Brian Patterson was 1.5 faster last lap. Daniel Handke is P3, 1.0 behind Dominic Singendonk. Kevin Smith entering the pits is 15th. Jules Sanyi is 8th on hards, 0.7 behind Brian Patterson. Brian Patterson in T11 is P7 on hards, 0.6 behind John Astrup. Glenfield entering the pits is 14th. Brian Patterson is now P6. Jules Sanyi in T1 is P7, 0.5 behind Brian Patterson. John Astrup exiting pits on hards. John Astrup is 10, 0.3 behind Mark Scott. Kevin Smith exiting pits on hards. Jules Sanyi on lap 15 is P7, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. Rene Robertson is 8th, 0.4 behind Jules Sanyi. Mark Scott in T8 on lap 15 is P10, 0.3 behind John Asbrock. Sanyi from Hungary in T11 is P7, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. Rene Robertson in T1 is P8. Best lap is a 1:31.695. POINT 789 off the fastest lap. Sanyi in T4 is P7, 0.3 ahead of Rene Robertson. Rene Robertson from England is 8th, 0.2 behind Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T12 is 3rd, 0.6 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Rene Robertson is 8th, 0.4 behind Sanyi. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Sanyi in T12 is 7th, 0.4 ahead of Rene Robertson. Rene Robertson is P8, 0.2 behind Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T8 is P3, 0.5 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Rene Robertson in T6 is 8th, 0.3 behind Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T11 is P3, 0.3 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Rene Robertson is 8th, 0.2 behind Sanyi. Rene Robertson passed Sanyi for 7th. Sanyi in T11 is P8, 0.3 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke is 3rd, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Sanyi from Hungary is P8, 0.8 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in T10B is P3, 0.2 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Sanyi on lap 18 is P8, 0.3 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in T4 is 3rd, 0.3 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Sanyi is P8, 0.4 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in T7 is third, 0.4 behind Dominic Singendonk. Daniel Handke passed Dominic Singendonk for second. Adelak Sanyi is fourth, battling Dominic Singendonk. Adelak Sanyi passed Dominic Singendonk for P3. Adelak Sanyi lost third to Dominic Singendonk. Adelak Sanyi passed Dominic Singendonk for P3. Brian Patterson is 8th. Schulk Sanyi in T10B on lap 19 is P7, 0.5 behind Rene Robertson. John Astrup is P9, 1.1 behind Brian Patterson. John Astrup was 8.6 faster last lap. Schulk Sanyi from Hungary is P7, 0.5 behind Rene Robertson. John Astrup in T7 is 9, 0.7 behind Brian Patterson. Schulk Sanyi is 7th, 0.2 behind Rene Robertson. John Astrup in T10B is P9. Schulk Sanyi from Hungary in T1 is P7, 0.3 behind Rene Robertson. John Astrup in T4 is P9, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. The leader has just finished the race. Martijn Mol finished first. Daniel Handke finished second. Kevin Smith finished 14th. Adelak Sanyi finished third. Dominic Singendonk finished P4. Dominic Favard finished P5. Schulk Sanyi passed Rene Robertson for 6th. Schulk Sanyi finished P6. Rene Robertson finished P7. Brian Patterson finished 8th. John Astrup finished P9. Mark Scott finished 10th. David Forsyth finished P11. Christopher Ball finished P13. Robert Cormack finished 12th. The race session is at 2017, layout in Road Atlanta, USA. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Race start." Daniel Handke from Germany is P13. Daniel Handke is now 10th. Mark Scott passed Robert Cormack for 6th. "25 minutes remaining in the session. Mark Scott is now 5th. Daniel Handke in T7 is P10. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Daniel Handke is P10. Daniel Handke from Germany in T8 is 10th. Daniel Handke in T8 is P10. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Favard from United Kingdom in T6 is 13th. Attila Szanyi from Hungary is 10th. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Faubourg in the SEs is 13th. Attila Xanyi is now P9. Attila Xanyi is now 14th. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Rene Robertson is now P4. The leader has just finished the race. Martijn Mol from Netherlands finished first. Rene Robertson is now P4. Dominic Singendon finished P2. Attila Xanyi finished P6. Attila Xanyi finished 6th. Daniel Handke finished P7. John Astrup finished 5th. Zsolt Xanyi finished P8. Robert Cormack from Italy finished 13th. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom finished 15th. Kevin Smith finished 14th. Brian Patterson from Scotland finished 9th. Rene Robertson finished P8. Dominic Bobard finished 10th. Mark Scott lost 9th to Dominic Bobard. David Forsyth finished 10th. Glenfield finished P12. Mark Scott finished 12th. The race session is at 2017, layout in Road Atlanta, USA. Kevin Smith is P1 on hards. Robert Cormack from Italy is second on hards. Mark Scott from Norway is P3. Glenfield from United Kingdom is fourth on mediums. Dominic Faubourg from United Kingdom is fifth. Rene Robertson from England is P6. Brian Patterson from Scotland is P7. Zsolt Ksanyi from Hungary is P8. John Astrop from New Zealand is 9th. Daniel Handke from Germany is 10th. Attila Ksanyi from Hungary is 11th. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands is P12. Martijn Mol from Netherlands is P13. Christopher Ball from United Kingdom is P14. Kevin Smith is first. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Mark Scott is P3. Mark Scott is now fourth. Robert Cormack in T1 is P6. Robert Cormack lost 8th to Daniel Handke. Robert Cormack lost 9th to Brian Patterson. Attila Ksanyi in the Essies is P11. Robert Cormack is 10th. Robert Cormack lost P11 to Martijn Mol. Glenfield in T8 is second. Glenfield lost second to Dominic Faubourg. Zsolt Ksanyi is P6. Daniel Handke in T11 is P8. Attila Ksanyi in T1 is 9, 0.4 behind Daniel Handke. Martijn Mol in the Essies is P11, 0.5 behind Dominic Singendonk. Rene Robertson in T6 is second. Best lap is a 1:41.750. POINT 221 off the fastest lap. Rene Robertson passed Dominic Faubourg for P1. Dominic Faubourg in T8 on lap 2 is P2, 0.2 behind Rene Robertson. Kevin Smith is fourth, 0.1 ahead of Zsolt Ksanyi. Smith is now 10th. Attila Sanyi in T11 is P5. Daniel Handke in T1 is 7th, 0.1 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk was 1.3 faster last lap. Kevin Smith entering the pits is P14. Glenfield entering the pits is P13. Christopher Ball entering the pits is P12. Brian Patterson is P8. John Astrup is P10, 0.5 behind Robert Cormack. Christopher Ball exiting pits. Martijn Mol in T7 is 11th. Best lap is a 1:40.903. 9.252 off the fastest lap. Martijn Mol is now P10. Robert Cormack is 11th, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Attila Sanyi in T11 is 5th. Glenfield exiting pits. Kevin Smith exiting pits. "25 minutes remaining in the session. Brian Patterson in T1 is 6th, 0.4 behind Attila Sanyi. Martijn Mol in T3 is P10, 0.4 behind John Astrup. Daniel Handke from Germany is 5th, 0.2 behind Attila Sanyi. John Astrup in T8 is 9th. Best lap is a 1:31.651. Daniel Handke in T108 is P5. Dominic Sinjendonk in T12 is P7. John Astrup in T1 is 9th, 0.4 behind Mark Scott. John Astrup passed Mark Scott for P8. Martijn Mol in the Essies is P10. Best lap is a 1:33.079. 1.525 off the fastest lap. Martijn Mol passed Mark Scott for 9th. Rene Robertson in T7 is 2nd, 0.2 behind Dominic Favard. Attila Sanyi from Hungary in T8 is P5, 0.1 behind Daniel Handke. Brian Patterson is 7th battling Dominic Sinjendonk. Rene Robertson is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:31.556. POINT 002 off the fastest lap. Rene Robertson passed Dominic Faubourg for P1. Dominic Faubourg in T4 on lap 6 is second, 0.5 behind Rene Robertson. Dominic Singendonk in the SEs is P5, 0.2 ahead of Adalak Sanyi. John Astrop is P8, 0.2 behind Brian Patterson. Adalak Sanyi is P6, 0.4 behind Dominic Singendonk. John Astrop in T9 is 8th, 0.1 behind Brian Patterson. John Astrop passed Brian Patterson for 7th. Brian Patterson in T11 is P8 battling John Astrop. Adalak Sanyi in T1 is P6, 0.4 behind Dominic Singendonk. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Singendonk is P5, 0.4 ahead of Adalak Sanyi. Adalak Sanyi in T7 is P6, 0.5 behind Dominic Singendonk. Mardij Mol in T9 is P9, 0.5 behind Brian Patterson. Adalak Sanyi in T12 is P6, 0.4 behind Dominic Singendonk. Kevin Smith entering the pits is 14th. Mardij Mol in T1 is 9, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. Brian Patterson in the SEs is 9th battling Mardij Mol. Adalak Sanyi is P6, 0.7 behind Dominic Singendonk. Dominic Singendonk in T10B on lap 8 is P5, 0.8 behind Daniel Handke. Dominic Faubourg entering the pits is P2. Dominic Singendonk is now P4. Daniel Handke is third. Best lap is a 1:31.032. Dominic Faubourg exiting pits. Dominic Singendonk is 4th, 0.9 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke in T8 is 3rd, 0.4 behind Jules Sanyi. Dominic Singendonk in T10A is P4, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is P3, 0.3 behind Jules Sanyi. Dominic Singendonk in T2 is 4th, 0.2 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is 3rd, 0.3 behind Jules Sanyi. Dominic Singendonk in T6 is P4, 0.1 behind Daniel Handke. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Singendonk passed Daniel Handke for 3rd. Daniel Handke from Germany in T8 is P4 battling Dominic Singendonk. John Astrup in T9 is P6, 0.1 behind Adelak Sanyi. John Astrup passed Adelak Sanyi for P5. Daniel Handke in T12 is 3rd, 0.1 ahead of Dominic Singendonk. Daniel Handke lost 3rd to Dominic Singendonk. Adelak Sanyi in T3 is 6th, 0.6 behind John Astrup. Jules Sanyi is P3. Best lap is a 1:31.906. POINT 874 off the fastest lap. Martijn Mol is 7th, 0.3 behind Adelak Sanyi. Jules Sanyi is P4, 0.2 behind Daniel Handke. Martijn Mol in T10A is 7th, 0.3 behind Adelak Sanyi. Jules Sanyi entering the pits is 6th. Martijn Mol is now P6. Adelak Sanyi in T1 is 5th, 0.3 ahead of Martijn Mol. Jules Sanyi exiting pits. Adelak Sanyi lost 5th to Martijn Mol. Dominic Faubourg is P11, 0.4 behind Robert Cormack. Dominic Faubourg passed Robert Cormack for 10th. Adelak Sanyi from Hungary in T6 is 6th, 0.1 behind Martijn Mol. Adelak Sanyi passed Martijn Mol for P5. Martij Mol in T8 is P6, 0.1 behind Adilak Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T10A is third, 0.5 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk was 1.1 faster last lap. Martij Mol in T11 is 6, 0.1 behind Adilak Sanyi. Daniel Handke from Germany in T2 is P3, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Daniel Handke was 0.6 faster last lap. Martij Mol in the SEs is P6, 0.5 behind Adilak Sanyi. Daniel Handke in T6 is P3, 0.2 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Martij Mol is P6, 0.5 behind Adilak Sanyi. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Daniel Handke in T10A is P3, 0.2 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Faubourg in T7 is P11, 0.5 behind Robert Cormack. Daniel Handke in T2 is third, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Faubourg from United Kingdom in T10B is 11th, 0.5 behind Robert Cormack. Dominic Faubourg passed Robert Cormack for 10th. Robert Cormack is 11th, 0.4 behind Dominic Faubourg. Robert Cormack was 3.3 faster last lap. Dominic Sinjendonk from Netherlands is P2, 0.2 ahead of Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke from Germany in T10A is P3, 0.3 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk in T12 on lap 14 is second, 0.1 ahead of Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is third, 0.1 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. John Astrup in the SEs on lap 15 is P4, 0.3 behind Daniel Handke. Dominic Sinjendonk is P2, 0.4 behind Rene Robertson. Dominic Sinjendonk was 1.2 faster last lap. Daniel Handke in T8 on lap 15 is P3, 0.4 ahead of John Astrup. John Astrup in T9 is P4. Best lap is a 1:31.424. POINT 392 off the fastest lap. Daniel Handke from Germany in T11 is third, 0.1 behind Dominic Singendonk. John Astrup from New Zealand in T1 is P4, 0.4 behind Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke in the SEs is P3, 0.2 behind Dominic Singendonk. John Astrup is fourth, 0.2 behind Daniel Handke. Martijn Mol in T7 is P6, 0.3 behind Adelak Sanyi. Dominic Singendonk in T9 is P2, 0.2 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke is P3, 0.3 behind Dominic Singendonk. Five minutes remaining in the session. John Astrup in T1 is fourth, 0.4 behind Daniel Handke. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands in T4 is second, battling Daniel Handke. Dominic Singendonk lost P2 to Daniel Handke. John Astrup is fourth, 0.2 ahead of Adelak Sanyi. Adelak Sanyi in T7 is P5, 0.2 behind John Astrup. Martijn Mol is P6, 0.2 behind Adelak Sanyi. Martijn Mol passed Adelak Sanyi for fifth. Rene Robertson in T10B is P2, battling Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is fourth, battling Adelak Sanyi. Daniel Handke is now P5. Adelak Sanyi in T3 is P5. Best lap is a 1:31.331. POINT 299 off the fastest lap. John Astrup is P6. Rene Robertson in T7 is P2. Martijn Mol is third, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in T10A is fourth, 0.4 behind Martijn Mol. Adelak Sanyi in T12 on lap 18 is fifth, 0.2 behind Daniel Handke. John Astrop from New Zealand is P6, 0.4 behind Adelak Sanyi. Christopher Ball entering the pits is 12. John Astrop is now P5. Daniel Hanke from Germany is P3, 0.3 behind Rene Robertson. Rene Robertson in T6 is P2, 0.2 ahead of Daniel Hanke. Christopher Ball exiting pits. Daniel Hanke is third, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. Rene Robertson from England in T10A is third, battling Daniel Hanke. Rene Robertson passed Daniel Hanke for second. Daniel Hanke in T12 is P3, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. Adelak Sanyi in T1 is 5th, 0.2 behind John Astrop. Martijn Mol from Netherlands in the Essies is 6th, 0.4 behind Adelak Sanyi. Daniel Hanke in T6 is third, 0.3 behind Rene Robertson. Martijn Mol on lap 20 is P6, 0.3 behind Adelak Sanyi. Daniel Hanke is third, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Hanke passed Rene Robertson for second. Christopher Ball entering the pits is P13. Rene Robertson in T12 on lap 20 is third, 0.1 behind Daniel Hanke. Adelak Sanyi in T1 is P6, battling Martijn Mol. Christopher Ball exiting pits. Adelak Sanyi passed Martijn Mol for P5. Adelak Sanyi in T4 is P7, 0.3 behind Martijn Mol. Rene Robertson in T6 is P3, 0.5 behind Daniel Hanke. Martijn Mol in T7 is 6th, 0.4 behind Adelak Sanyi. The leader has just finished the race. Dominic Sinjendon finished first. Daniel Hanke finished P2. Rene Robertson finished P3. John Astrop finished 4th. Adelak Sanyi finished P5. Martijn Mol finished 6th. Adelak Sanyi finished 7th. Christopher Ball finished 13th. Brian Patterson finished P8. Glenfield finished 12th. Mark Scott finished P9. Dominic Favard finished P10. Robert Cormack finished P11.